Happy Monday rolling out. This is Reality Check, and this is, of course, is your host, Crystal Jordan, and I'm so happy to have you with me here today. Now, we talk about relationships, we talk about reality TV, we talk about everything here that is reality TV world worthy. And today we have a man that is a disruptor in the reality television world. He's actually created his own world that's connected with culture in a major way. So Lemuel Plummer is my guest today. But before we bring him on, I want to play this clip from Bad Boys LA in case you're not aware of what is going on in these streets on Zeus Network. So let's play this clip and then we're going to come right back with our guest for today, Lemuel Plummer.
Is you mad, boy? Bad boy. Bad boy. That's a bad boy. Get a bad boy.
Act like that shit. My fucking house. We run this shit.
I'm not no bitch. If y'all can't see that shit by now, I'm not no bitch, bro.
Like you do too much. Like you not ready for this shit. Let this shit flow natural. Everybody having a good time.
You think it's alright? I'ma travel over right and throw you out the balcony.
I'ma drag your big ass bitch.
Y'all better get. I'ma punch in her face. Turn off that camera.
Come right here.
They're not gonna jump you. I'm right here. They're not gonna jump you. Nobody gonna jump you.
Like we're done.
William, you've been leaking stuff. Am I lying?
I would never sleep with you. You too nasty. The porn tape, what you did was fine. That's your only gig.
I thought you was this nigga yelling, oh, I'll kill you. Nigga, I'm from 77th Hermitage, bitch. From motherfucking Chicago. It's up whenever I see you.
Man, I don't give a fuck. It ain't now, ho. Fucking with me.
I'm telling you,
Well, what you want to do?
Please stop playing.
What you want to do?
Please stop playing.
What you want to do?
Okay.
What you want to do? Huh?
Okay.
What's the problem?
It's no motherfucking security here. This gate is open.
I don't have time for this. Y'all don't have time for this.
Ain't never had to suck no dick to get in the game, nigga. I was born it out here, nigga.
I like sucking dick.
Straight pussy only. No dicks. If you gay, put it out there.
Why does he have to put it out there? It's none of your business. Are you trying to fuck him? No.
The faggots that you keep calling us are the faggots that keep fighting for our life.
With your dad being Kirk Franklin, does he support your lifestyle?
There's been such a gap between me and my dad. I've experienced physical abuse. I've experienced verbal abuse. I'm here for you.
All right, bad boys.
Where my room at?
I already told you.
What you tell me?
This ain't your room.
Oh, this is my room then.
But you already know.
What you already know?
This gonna be my room. And
What room it is?
this is.
It's not.
Okay.
It's not. It's not. It's not.
What you saying? This is where I'm at.
I got 100 on the black bag.
Get the fuck out of my face. Somebody hit somebody. Somebody fuck you up. We eat those.
All right. I don't know a way to even, without further ado, first of all, welcome. Welcome to Reality Check for the first time. Zeus founder Lemuel Plummer. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
No, thank you for being here. I am a big fan of anyone that builds their own table. And you, sir, have definitely done that. You've
Thank
created
you.
a
Thank you.
network. And I remember when you first started, there was a show that was, I think, some guys in a house when you very first started the network. And I remember getting some information about it, this new network. And then after that, I mean, you have continued to level up. You've had some of the most hard-hitting conversations, from the issues happening with Black China. And then my girl, Tokyo Tony, you had a show with her,
Yep.
Ray J and Princess Love. And I think when things were trending with Jocelyn's Cabaret at the height, and everybody's talking about this fight and all this stuff going on, then you come out with Bad Boys LA. So you have continued to connect with culture and really deal with conversations that I don't think any other network could have done.
Yeah. Thank you.
Was that your intent initially with Zeus?
Yeah, we always want to connect with the culture. I mean, that's important. Our goal is to always put out, authentic, real, raw, uncensored, unfiltered content, and that's kind of been our motto. And
Hmm.
so we've been able to do that, and we've been able to really truly connect with the culture. We understand our content is loud and provocative, but it is real, and it is authentic. So
Hmm.
I'm happy with where we are as a company and as a network, and folks are watching, folks are engaged, you know um, they're subscribing, and so we're happy to be able to provide a platform where folks can watch on any major device,
Hmm.
and watch the shows that they find entertaining.
Absolutely. Well, take us back because I want to get into Bad Boys LA, but let's go back. Like I said, I remember the first show. It seemed like a Bad Boys, like a first version of Bad Boys LA. Talk about where did this inspiration to do this come from? Because I mean, this is huge. We talk about people of color not being represented at some points on television and networks. So for you to actually decide to start your own network, that sounds like a huge, a huge, insurmountable task. How did you think that you could actually pull this off and get it to where it is today?
Sure. I grew up in television. My parents started and created television networks back in the 80s, and they were one
Nice.
of the first ones to do that. They created a few linear religious networks, and I grew up around all of that. I was very blessed to be able to gain so much insight and information,
Mm-hmm.
and about the business. And so, when I moved to Hollywood, I actually started as a production assistant, and I was
Okay.
working on a few mainstream projects. And ultimately, I said I wanted to produce shows, and whether that was unscripted or scripted. And I was one of the first and the youngest African American full service production companies where we created and sold and executive produced shows for major networks like BET or
Mm-hmm.
Oxygen, etc. And Preachers of LA was one of our first franchises, and
Okay.
the Westbrooks and Music Moguls, another show called Living with Funny, and TV One's Two Sides. So we sold a lot of shows, and at that point, I just felt like it was a great experience to be able to, have the opportunity to still employ folks and work
Mm-hmm.
as a production company. But
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really control the distribution, and for
Right.
me, it was important to start my own network, and it was in my blood anyway. I always had kind of a vision and want to do that, but it was important to really be able to own the
Yeah.
content, and to be able to allow our talent and content partners to monetize in different ways, and to really be a player. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
these networks are predominantly white owned,
Yeah.
that produce predominantly African American content. So the VH1s, the Bravos, even BET, is
Mm-hmm.
owned by
Yeah.
Viacom.
Yeah.
And so I just felt like there were really no black owned networks out there that was able to really produce high quality premium content. And so it was important for me to launch my own network in the streaming space, and that is and at the time was the new wave. And
Yeah.
so for me, people are all about watching content at their convenience, choice, and control.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, I just wanted to be able to provide the platform for them to be able to do that at an affordable fee, and
Right.
so and rate. So for me, that was important, and we're a subscription video on demand service, so we charge a monthly fee to watch our content, and
Mm-hmm.
so people are kind of eating it up at this
Yeah.
point. But yeah, that's what really inspired me to want to launch Zeus, and aggregate all the talent, to a ton of talent to come over to the network,
Mm-hmm.
whether that's traditional stars, or influencers. We're just discovering new talent.
Yeah.
That was always really important to me.
Well, you guys definitely are. Like I said, I think you're the most in touch with the culture network out there, and I think that there is a huge benefit to having our own and doing our own, because we understand that voice much differently. I think, Black media
Yeah.
is so important. But I also love the fact that you share, people look at situations like yourself and it seems like you're an overnight success. But I love the fact that this was a part of who you were initially.
Mm-hmm.
And you had been putting the work in. So there's no such thing, it just goes to show people out there looking at you thinking, I can do what he does. No,
Mm-hmm.
you put in a lot of hard work. And like you said, you're kind of like second generation legacy when it comes to Hollywood and television. What was one thing that you observed? Where did that spark come from? So what was something that you observed with your parents, watching them do what they did, that kind of sparked that drive in you to want to be a part of this industry?
My dad, he's a visionary.
Mm.
And, I think the fact that he was able to give a lot of folks jobs was like really, really impressive. And that was important to me to
Mm-hmm.
be able to do that.
Right.
The fact that, he he was one of the few folks that was a part of being able to distribute content
Yeah.
without going through a very brutal process. You know what I mean? Like the Hollywood system is set up in a way where it's pretty difficult to get
Yeah.
projects off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I was very fortunate, but it for common folks and folks who just want to have these opportunities is very difficult. And
Right.
so for me, I found that to be very inspiring that my dad was able to have a network, to be able to distribute content,
Mm-hmm.
globally, and do it his way,
Yeah.
and be able to own the content.
Right.
Ownership is key. So that also inspired me, and I said, look, if I can distribute the content, own it, give folks jobs, to me, that's like the most important thing.
Yeah. No,
And,
that's
and
that's
that's what was most inspiring to me.
that's power. That's power when
Yeah.
you don't have to go ask permission to share your stories from someone that's not a part of your community. That's power,
Right.
when
Right.
we have that
Yeah.
ability to do
Or
that.
cater
So,
to their mandate. You know what I
right.
mean? So that's very important.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of folks don't understand. Like, a lot of these networks are very specific on what type of content they want, and
Mm-hmm.
and the folks that are controlling it, you don't look like us. You know what
Right.
I mean? And that
Right.
that that's a real thing. When I used to go in the pitch meetings, it was sometimes a little very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It was very uncomfortable, and it's just, even when you do kind of get in the door, it's challenging, because even the notes, that they give you, or you know, uh, just the experience,
Mm-hmm.
is not the same. You know what I mean?
Right.
And again, I appreciate every opportunity that I was given, but
Mm-hmm.
that also motivated me to say, I don't care how difficult it's going to get, how challenging this may be. I gotta launch my own network, and we
I
gotta
get
do it our
you.
way.
So once you had the idea, you came up with you decided to push the button with Zeus. What type of stories were you initially trying to tell? Like, what is the
Mhm.
commonality with all the programming that you green light or that you are looking for with Zeus?
Originally it was we launched the network with a lot of short form content, and
Hmm.
we aggregated a lot of influencers to create shows that they wanted. To me,
Right.
it was really like, hey, we'll give you the platform, we'll give you the tools that you need, come up with your own ideas, we'll make that investment. And so, although that's still something that is important to us, I think it's more of a collaborative effort now,
Okay.
where we work with them, and we kind of understand what the audience is looking for, what they want to
Hmm.
see. And
Hmm.
so it's like now a little bit of a hybrid. But yeah, I think originally we just, as far as the stories, we just originally my idea was like, look, again, you tell your own stories, we'll give you the tools and platform. But now it's like, let's really connect with our audience and see what they want to. Let's put together what they want to see. Let's create shows that they're interested in.
Right.
And so yeah, we come up with all types of ideas. I mean, now obviously some of our bigger shows like Jocelyn's Cabaret and Baddies, Bad Boys, Chance, Conversation, all those shows are connecting in a different way. So yeah, we kind of have to invest in that area to kind of hold the subscribers and continue to scale.
Yeah. Absolutely. Now, what do you say to people? Because, of course, I mentioned before the Bad Boys clip, Jocelyn's Cabaret was trending because of the fights on the show. And there are a lot of people that are critical of that type of violence happening on a show. And we've seen it on other reality shows. I think that this one may have taken it a little bit in a different direction than we've seen before.
Yeah.
But what do you say to people that criticize just showing that type of violence? And even even in the clip that we saw for Bad Boys, I mean, there's some real fighting happening, like some Jerry Springer ding ding, let's get this on fighting. What is your rebuttal to that criticism?
Again, for me, it's I can't really speak on Jocelyn's Cabaret specifically.
Okay.
And I understand kind of the macro question. Again, we understand that our content, as far as all of our programming, but we have over 60 shows on Zeus. And so the ones that people are watching the most, they have it's a little loud and provocative. And so it's very authentic, like I say. And so for me, I can't comment on certain shows, like certain pending litigation that's happening with Johnson's Cabaret. So I can't really discuss that. But like I say, as a CEO, the safety of our cast, crew, guests is our top priority always. And so we're doing everything we can do to make sure it's always a safe environment on all of our productions. And so, but yeah, unfortunately I can't comment on Jocelyn's.
No, that's understood.
Cabaret.
I wonder, do you think that because it feels like, this, whenever that more provocative, behavior happens, you're going to get negative backlash. But I would imagine, I haven't looked at your books or any of your data, but I would imagine those shows are often probably the most watched and the most that have the most fans, because people, it's like the public perception is a little hypocritical sometimes. Do you think that people say that, complain about something, but they are drawn to things that are really, really provocative still?
Yeah. Absolutely. I think you said it perfect. I echo your sentiments. I think that is the reality.
Yeah.
I think that people look, I mean, I think folks have an appetite for all sorts of shows, scripted, unscripted. People love shows like Power. They love shows like BMF, that has a lot of crime and violence. People like crime shows. They have a whole network.
Yeah.
Oxygen rebranded the whole entire network to be a crime show network. Yeah. Right. Where there's stories about people who were killed by their spouse or
snapped.
Investigation Discovery.
Yeah. Like the whole ID channel.
Some of Netflix top shows, whether it's their reality or documentary series. What was the show called? Tiger King. Tiger King. I mean, it was a very loud and provocative show.
Absolutely.
It was intriguing and interesting. Look, Lifetime, one of their highest rated shows was, Surviving R. Kelly. Showtime has Dexter. I mean, so people enjoy shows that are loud and provocative, that have drama, whether it's unscripted, scripted. We at Zeus, we tell the stories in a real, raw, authentic, in uncensored way. Right. And I think that our audience appreciates the fact that we're not watering down our content.
Mm-hmm.
We understand that when you're working with, when you're a traditional linear network, you're kind of appeasing to advertisers. And
Right.
so we
Exactly.
understand that they, maybe they have to bleep certain swear words or, blur certain things. And so for
Mm-hmm.
us, we want the experience to be more authentic and real. And so
Yeah.
it's not that we, um, you know, uh, uh, support certain things, but we show the real.
Show the real. Well, this with Bad Boys LA. I said he has all my favorite influencers from the where the money reside to Andre Caldwell being delivered and all these big personalities. What is your I guess what is your goal? What do you want people to get from Bad Boys LA?
Bad Boys LA is a very unique show. It's a special show. It's the first of its kind.
Mm-hmm.
The audience has been wanting to see a Bad Boys show for some
Mm-hmm.
time. Oxygen. They created a huge successful franchise and show with the Bad Girls Club.
Yep.
We created our own, show called Baddies,
Mm-hmm.
ATL that featured some of the stars.
And
And
Natalie is
so,
actually executive producing on Bad Boys, correct?
yes,
Natalie,
Natalie
no.
is
Mm-hmm.
executive producer of Baddies and Bad Boys. So
Nice.
they haven't been on television in some time. So we wanted to create a different show, but feature some of the stars.
Mm-hmm.
And so, folks, wanted to see it, and we gave them Baddies ATL. And then, folks were inquiring about Bad Boys, and we would see, but Natalie brought it to the table, and along with Daryl Farmer, who's executive producer as well in the show, and
Nice.
I think they created two great shows, Baddies and Bad Boys, and so and I know that was Natalie's original vision and idea, and
Mm-hmm.
so for me it just made sense to greenlight it, and it's doing incredibly well. But I think to answer your question, as far as like what are we looking to see, yeah, I mean, or what is the kind of goal? I mean, for us is just look, these are the baddest boys. They are trying to take over LA, and so they're trying to throw the hottest parties. They're trying to work together to do some entrepreneurial work and see if they
Mm-hmm.
can create a bond and a brotherhood that allows them to do other things. And they all come from different places all over the world,
Yeah.
and all over the country, and so it's not easy, obviously. Some of them are gay, bisexual, some are straight, and
Mm-hmm.
so when you kind of put everybody in a house and you're saying, look, see if you guys come up with something. It's gonna have some fireworks. It's gonna
Yeah.
have some, real emotional, moments. It's gonna be entertaining,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll have some loud moments, and you'll have some moments of levity. So
I
it's
like that.
overall a great show.
I like that. I'm going to use that, Lemuel. Some loud moments and some moments of levity. That kind of
Yeah,
balances everything out. You're going to get a little bit of
yeah,
both. Get a
yeah.
little bit of both. Well, I know we're just about out of time, but I do want to ask you because like I said, here at Rolling Out, we are a Black-owned media publication, and we've seen. I feel like over the last few years, especially because things got so bad, it was in people's face. You have a lot more of us supporting us in a real way, and so we have to salute anytime one of us, steps out there and starts playing with the big boys. So being involved in a subscription based network is huge, and we are so proud of you here, and definitely want to
Thank you.
always make sure that we support. But before I let you go, I want to get just from you, what advice would you give? There's so many creatives out there that want to create content that shares their voice and what they're dealing with and what their perspective is on the world. What advice would you give to someone that doesn't know where to start, but knows that they aspire to be able to share their voice and tell stories that reflect the people that they represent? What would be your
Yeah.
advice to them?
Yes. Well, first of all, thank you so much for the kind words, and I truly appreciate that regarding Zeus and myself. And the feeling is mutual regarding you all at Rolling Out. Congratulations on everything you all are doing,
Thank
and
you.
you guys are doing incredible things, and I appreciate you taking the time to talk with me. Um, the advice that I would give is first of all, it's important to identify exactly what it is that you want to do. That's
Mhm.
always the most important piece. So once you kind of, discover what it is that you're interested in, and what you want to do, it's easier to kind of go down that path and focus on that that one thing. And I think that if you're kind of all over the place, it gets a little difficult.
Yeah.
But I think finding that one thing that you're interested in is going to be key to at least go down this path to gaining some success as far as your career and what it is that you want to do. And then I would say, as far as just being able to tell your story and and get your work out there. I mean, we live in a day and age where, I mean, you have so many amazing platforms that allow you, whether someone wants to invest in you or not, you have the power to invest in yourself. You have the power to, create your own content, to tell your own stories. A phone now is a tool, right? It has editing software programs. Your phone has great HD, capturing abilities. Just with that device, you have so much there that you can do, that you can upload it and distribute it to the world via Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, or any other social media platform, Facebook. I mean, so that's the beautiful thing about the day and age that we live in. And so, you have that opportunity. You have the opportunity to connect with people directly now. Before it was more difficult. You can literally DM someone and they'll get back to you. You can comment on a message and say, check your DM. So and that's happened to me before. There's been people
I'm
that
sure.
we discovered, or people that we found projects with or whatever. And we're like, we connected with this person. So, we live in a day and age where there's like really no excuses anymore. It's really about that person. Like, look, do you have the passion? Do you know exactly what it is that you want to do? And if you're that, excited about telling your stories or getting your message out there, do it. Don't wait. Don't wait for anybody. And that's how I've always been. I don't like to wait for people. I'm like, look, I'm gonna get out there and I'm gonna hustle and I'm gonna do my thing. And so, yeah, it'd be great if I could have that additional support, or muscle behind me. But I think if you continue to, believe, I think if you continue to work hard, I think that, things will obviously begin to manifest. And I'm a true believer in that. So keep working hard, keep doing your thing, doors will open for you, have the right mentality. Don't get distracted by things that don't matter personally or professionally. You know what I mean? I think there's enough space, for everybody to win, for everybody to make money, for everybody to do their thing. So I just encourage everybody to just, keep moving forward always. Keep moving forward.
That's great advice. And I think if that saying that goes, if you build it, they will come, that old saying that says that if that saying were a person, that would definitely be you.
Yeah.
So congratulations again. 60 shows, Zeus Network, Bad Boys LA, and so many other shows, so much great content. Congratulations again from us. Let people know where they can subscribe if they haven't already subscribed to Zeus, how they can get a subscription so they can have access to the programming on the network.
Yes, absolutely. You can subscribe to the Zeus Network at thezeusnetwork.com, or you can download the app on any major device, whether that's any iOS product, any Android product, Roku, Xbox, etc. So we're available globally on every major device. We are we charge $5.99 a month for our content, $59.99 a year, and so we appreciate everybody that supports us, that subscribes. So we look forward to welcoming any new customers. And so we just appreciate you guys. So yeah, check me out. My personal Instagram is @Lemuel Plummer. But thank you so much. I appreciate this.
Of course. Well, you guys heard that. $5.99 is less than what most of us spend for lunch every day. So make sure that you go and subscribe and support Zeus Network. And Lemuel, thank you so much. We appreciate you stopping by, and we look forward for you checking back in with us when there's new content coming out.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. You have a good one.
All right. You too. Thanks.
All right. Thank you guys for hanging out. Great conversation, great advice from someone who has been there, done that, and has the receipts for it. You guys check out Zeus Network. And I think he had great advice. Don't stop. Make sure that you Focus on the goal that you're interested in and passionate about achieving, and just go. Don't wait. Don't wait. There's no excuses. The world is out there and there's so many different opportunities. So I appreciate you guys for watching. As always, this has been a reality check with a little motivation from Lemuel Plummer. I will see you guys next Monday right here at 8 o'clock, right here on Rolling Out. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.